Welcome back. Right, quite excited about today. I've not felt well for the last few days. Had a bit of a toothache and a bit of a sniveller. Still got a bit of a sniveller, so excuse me if you hear me. I'll try and keep it down. But I couldn't hold it off any longer. Today, I'm going to give a vinyl first play to the Beatles 1. Obviously, this is issue 20 in the DeAgostini Beatles vinyl collection. And I was due Let It Be, which was 19. But for some reason, they've sent me 1. In my next delivery with Anthology Volume 3, I should receive Let It Be. Watch this space. You never can tell with these people. But anyway, still nice though. Still another Beatles album to play. As you know, I did a vinyl first play of Live at the BBC Volume 2. I'll put a little link to that there if you missed it. About 4 or 5 days ago. But like I said, I've been a little bit under the weather. Blah, blah, blah. Course Stripey, you done half rabbit. I get it, I know. Right, so, before I open it, what do we know about this little baby? Right, well, 1 is a compilation album by the Beatles released on 13th of November 2000. The album features virtually every #1 single from the band achieved in the UK and the United States between 1962 and 1970. Released on the 30th anniversary of the band's actual breakup, and it was a commercial success, and it topped the charts worldwide. 1 was remastered and reissued on September the 11th and was remixed and reissued again several different deluxe versions on November 15, this is the 2015. But the most comprehensive version, I think, is the 3-disc 1 Plus, and it has all the band's music videos on there as well and alternative versions. So kind of nice actually. And they've done such a good job on that remastering. Obviously, you guys have seen it and watched it, probably own it. They do a really good job on the cleanup on them videos. Amazing. Anyway, and as of June 2015, 1 is the 6th best-selling album of the 21st century in the UK, having sold over 3.1 million copies. Wow. How cool is that? And this album essentially is a combination of both the US and the UK versions of the Beatles' previous album, quite a lot previous actually, the Beatles' 20 Greatest Hits. With the addition, this has got something on it. I think it was on the original 20 Greatest Hits, something to do with time constraints or whatever. The cover is like a pop art, just a plain 1 on a red background, and that was designed by Rick Ward. So I think it's long overdue. Shall we open it? Because it's quite a chunky piece, so let's have a little look, see what's inside. Beautiful, aren't they? That paper is gorgeous. Wow. Alright, they're psychedelic pictures. Kind of like them. Not so sure about the Paul one though. Paul was like a bit of a negative one. The others are really quite, well, and maybe a bit George. But I do like them. Really nice. So what we got inside? Oh, there is something inside. Oh, how cool is that? Right, we've got a poster, people, and it is of, if I can get it out without doing it. Oh, I like that. All the Beatles singles, all the covers to their singles. That's fantastic, isn't it? Oh, I'd like to have that up somehow. Fantastic. It might be something to get, you know, in the future. I mean, I'm not big on buying 7s anymore. I've done a lot of that when I was growing up. I think that's what we all used to do, isn't it? more. Oh, there we go. Individual. A little bit like Ringo. John. Paul. And last but by no means least, George. Kind of like the White Album, really, isn't it? You know, with the 4 pictures. But the poster's really cool. Anyway, getting back to it. Yeah, might be interested to get the Beatles singles. With all the picture covers on them. Don't know, not looked into it. Don't know how much it would cost to buy them. Oh, and you've got... And they're all on here as well. Love Me Do, right up to 8 days a week. Yeah, I mean, this album is broken down into 4 sections, I think, with the Beatles. I think it's the first being the Mersey Beat, 1962 to 1964. Side 2 is like the folk rock, 65 to 66. Then disc 2 will be the psychedelic experimental of Sergeant Pepper, Revolver, and all that lot, which is 67 to 68. And then I think side 4 is like back to rock, back to basics, you know, where to get back, which is 1969 to 1970. Shall we get it on now? Yeah, let's do this. Woohoo! I know. Right, look at this, beautiful, isn't it? So, moment of truth, people. These are fab. I love this. Oh, and when I'm getting the record out, alas, I'm down to 1 camera again at the moment, so I will do my best. Right. Well, they're not anti-static, they're cardboard, but wow. Woohoo! Oh, that's gorgeous, isn't it? Look at that. It's the same on both sides. So what side is that? Side 2. God, that's tiny. It says side 1 white. Let's get it on now. That is one thick chunk of vinyl. I've got to say, it looks gorgeous. Right. As always, I'll be back in a little while. Well, that sounded absolutely fantastic. That's the 2015 remaster, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's amazing how they make them old songs. And they're pretty old when you think about the early ones. So clean. Wow. Really, really pleased with that. And it was a nice little skip through the 60s, if you like. I can totally get why it become, one of the biggest selling albums of all time. It really is something else. Anyway, it's a greatest hits album. So what I thought I'd do, I'd just go through the track listing and let you know when they become number 1. Thought it might be interesting. So, kicks off with side 1, track 1, Love Me Do. Released in the UK on 5th of October 1962 and in the US on the 27th of April 1964, and it reached number 1 in the US for 1 week on the 30th of May 1964. In this version, released in the US, Ringo Starr was on tambourine and session musician Andy White was on drums. And it was first included on Introducing the Beatles, 1964 in the States, and obviously Please Please Me in 1963, depending on obviously where you was. So, track 2, From Me to You, released in the UK on the 11th of April 1963, and in the US on the 27th of May, and it reached number 1 in the UK for 7 weeks on the 2nd of May 1963. Track 3, She Loves You, released in the UK on the 27th of August 1963, and in the US on the 16th of September. And it reached number 1 in the UK for 4 weeks on the 14th of September 1963. And then again for 2 weeks on the 28th of November, reached number 1 in the US for 2 weeks on the 21st of March 1964. Track 4, I Want to Hold Your Hand, released in the UK on the 29th of November 1963 and in the US on the 26th of December, and it reached number 1 in the UK for 5 weeks on the 21st of December and for another 4 weeks in the 16th of May 1964, reached number 1 in the US for 7 weeks on the 1st of February 1964. I mean, this is going to be quite something, isn't it? Because we know the Beatles just dominated the charts during the 60s. Right, track 5, Can't Buy Me Love. Released in the US on the 16th of March 1964 and in the UK on the 20th of March. Reached number 1 in the UK for 3 weeks on the 2nd of April 1964 and in the US for 5 weeks on the 4th of April. Obviously, it was first included on the album A Hard Day's Night. Then track 6, A Hard Day's Night. Released in the UK on the 10th of July 1964 and in the US on the 13th of July. And it reached number 1 in the UK for 3 weeks on the 23rd of July 1964 and in the US for 2 weeks on the 1st of August. Oh, and in the US on the 1st of August. And obviously that first appeared on the album A Hard Day's Night. Track 7, I Feel Fine. Released in the US on the 23rd of November 1964 and in the UK on the 27th of November. And it reached number 1 in the UK for 5 weeks on the 10th of December 1964 and in the US for 3 weeks on the 22nd of December. Track 8, 8 Days a Week. Released in the US on the 15th of February 1965 where it reached number 1 for 2 weeks on the 13th of March. Right, side 2, track 1, Ticket to Ride. Released in the UK on the 9th of April 1965 and in the US on the 19th of April, reached number 1 in the UK for 3 weeks on the 22nd of April 1965 and in the US for 1 week on May 22nd. Obviously that was first included on the album Help. Track 2, Help. Released in the US on the 19th of July 1965 and in the UK on the 23rd of July. Reached number 1 in the UK for 3 weeks on the 5th of August 1965 and in the US for 3 weeks on the 4th of September. Obviously first included on the album Help. Right, track 3, side 2, Yesterday. Released in the US on the 13th of September 1965 where it reached number 1 for 4 weeks on the 9th of October. Track 4, side 2, Day Tripper. This, I must admit, they did sound bloody marvellous. Anyway, Day Tripper. Released in the UK on the 3rd of December 1965 and in the US on the 6th of December. Reached number 1 in the UK for 5 weeks on the 16th of December 1965. Track 5, We Can Work It Out. Released in the UK on the 3rd of December 1965 and in the US on the 6th of December. Reached number 1 in the UK for 5 weeks on the 16th of December 1965 and in the US for 2 weeks on the 8th of January 1966. Paperback Writer, track 6. Released in the US on the 30th of May 1966 and in the UK on the 10th of June. Reached number 1 in the UK for 2 weeks on the 23rd of June 1966. It first appeared on the album Hey Jude. Track 7, Yellow Submarine. Right, Yellow Submarine was released in the UK on the 5th of August 1966 and in the US on the 8th of August. It reached number 1 in the UK for 4 weeks on 18th of April 1966 and obviously first appeared on the album Revolver. Finally on side 2, track 8, Eleanor Rigby. Eleanor Rigby was released in the UK on the 5th of August 1966. And in the UK on the 8th of August. Reached number 1 in the UK for 4 weeks on the 8th of August 1966 as part as a double A-side single with Yellow Submarine. Album 2, so side 3, and it kicks off with Penny Lane. Now, it's quite interesting this one actually, because I know for a fact Penny Lane was a double A-side with Strawberry Fields Forever, and that was kept off of the UK number 1 spot. It reached number 2 because of Engelbert Humperdinck and his Please Release Me, Let Me Go, which is a good song, but really. But anyway, I digress. Penny Lane, released in the US on the 13th of February 1967 and in the UK on the 17th of February, and reached number 1 in the US for 1 week on the 18th of March 1967. First included on the album Magical Mystery Tour. Track 2, All You Need Is Love, released in the UK on the 7th of July 1967 and in America on the 17th of July, and it reached number 1 in the UK for 3 weeks on 19th of July 1967 and in the US for 1 week on the 19th of August. Obviously that was first included on the album Magical Mystery Tour also. Next up, track 3, Hello Goodbye. Sounded good and all, but they all did. Released in the UK on the 24th of November 1967 and in the US on the 27th of November. Reached number 1 in the UK for 7 weeks on the 6th of December 1967 and in the US for 3 weeks on the 30th of December. Obviously first included on the album The Magical Mystery Tour. Next up is track 4, Lady Madonna. Released in the UK on the 15th of March 1968 and in America on the 18th of March. Reached number 1 in the UK for 2 weeks on the 27th of March 1968. First included on the album Hey Jude. You'd be able to get that on vinyl still, wouldn't you? Of course you will. Right, so side 4, Get Back, track 1. Great song, isn't it? I mean, I know Let It Be isn't particularly one of my favourite Beatles albums because I didn't have that George Martin magic. But Get Back is a great rock and roll song, and it just works. It's a great song. Right, anyway. Get Back, released in the UK on the 11th of April 1968 and in the US on the 5th of May. Reached number 1 in the UK for 6 weeks on the 27th of April 1969 and in the US for 5 weeks on the 24th of May. While a different version was included on the album Let It Be, this version was first included on the Beatles 1967 to 1970. That comes last on I can't wait for that one. They're my favourite greatest hits albums, the red and the blue. Although this, sound-wise, was shit up. Right, next up, The Ballad of John and Yoko, track 2, and that was released in the UK on the 30th of May 1969 and in America on the 4th of June. Reached number 1 in the UK for 3 weeks on the 11th of June 1969, first included on the album Hey Jude. Track 3, George Harrison's beautiful song, Something. Released in the US on the 6th of October 1969 and in the UK on the 31st of October. Reached number 1 in the US for 1 week on the 29th of November 1969 and it was first included on the album Abbey Road, as we all know. Beautiful song that is. Track 4, John Lennon's Come Together. Released in the US on the 6th of October 1969 in the UK on the 31st of October as a B-side to a double A single with Something. Reached number 1 in the US for 1 week on the 29th of November. First included on the album Abbey Road, that's right. Track 5 is Let It Be. Released in the UK on the 6th of March 1970, and in the US on the 11th of March. Reached number 1 in the US for 2 weeks on the 11th of April 1970, while a different version was included on Let It Be. This version was first included on the Beatles 1967 and 1970. And finally, track 6, side 4, The Long and Winding Road. Released in the US on the 11th of May 1970, where it reached number 1 for 2 weeks on the 13th of June. First included on the album Let It Be. Yep, so that's pretty much all the dates of when they was released and when they become number 1. It does seem a little bit strange to me that it doesn't include Strawberry Fields Forever. It does have Penny Lane. But I don't know. When people say to you, what's your favourite top 10 Beatles songs? Don't start that again because I'll probably get it all wrong. But normally Strawberry Fields will pop into your head pretty much, it'll be in the first 10, wouldn't it? You'd think, maybe. But I suppose, yeah. But absolutely gorgeous, this. The packaging was lovely. The poster of the singles is awesome. I'm wondering if I can get that made up. It looks so good. It just looks so good. The vinyls played beautifully. The sound quality was amazing. Really did sound well. Sounded a lot better than the last one I played anyway. But I kind of knew that was going to be a thing. This has been remastered so well. So, yeah. Another one done, people. Another double album played. So, really looking forward to getting me Anthology 3 and Let It Be. And then it's going to be 1967 to 1970 and Past Masters. And I'd have done it. It's been a long old road. I can't believe I'm still doing it. Still looking forward to getting them. And I've got a little book to come. And obviously that vinyl case. I've not even yet put mine in chronological order in the box. I thought I'm going to wait till I get it all. And then I'm going to have my moment. But I'm going to see if I can do it by memory. Obviously, the normal studio albums will be a piece of piss. But things like Love, Anthologies, it's hard to remember when the dates, so record people do that sometimes, don't they? What is that? It's comforting, though. Don't know why. I'm waffling on. Right, so, yeah. If you haven't got yourself a copy of the Beatles number 1, why? After this ramble, I'm going to actually go down, dig out the DVD, and have a little watch of some of the music videos. That was brilliant. Really, really good. So, yeah, that's it for today, guys, then, really. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to the Rambles now. Yeah. What do you think of it? What do you think of the Beatles 1? Now, does it stand up to the Red and Blue album? Does it surpass? Or is there another Greatest Hits album? Do you like that 20 Greatest Hits? I think my stepmum had that. She certainly had rock and roll music, and she had Beatles ballads. Long since gone, unfortunately. But I am going to dig some of them out. Definitely am. After this collection's over, I still want me Beatles albums to grow. And obviously there's going down the solo route as well, which I am going to endeavour to do. But, it's a void, as you know. Slowly. No rush. Anyway, I'm waffling on again. Right. Have yourselves a fantastic week, people. I'll be back with another ramble.